Hey guys, Sean Terry here, flip2freedom.com. Hope you're doing well. All right, in this video, I want to talk about what I believe is the biggest problem that I have been seeing that people are getting tripped up on and having a problem where they're not being able to sell properties they get under contract. So we have a mastermind group, Syndicate 9 Mastermind, been on calls with them. We did a boot camp when it comes about lead generation. I've done coaching calls. We're on Zooms with hundreds of people doing coaching calls. And I did a 777 challenge where we had hundreds of people on a 777 challenge, and they're getting all tripped up. And there's a commonality between all the groups. I don't care if you're doing, hundreds, if not millions of dollars, or if you're brand new, it's the commonality all the way between. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what that is, that big problem. And then we're going to talk about how to solve it. So let's get into it.
I can't take no loss. Yeah. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, hit the ground and it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah. I really feel it's my time. Think it's my.
All right, so what is this big problem that's the common thread between everybody, and how can we solve it? Well, first off is think about this, customer experience. Think about your customer experience. They, call you up off Google AdWords, they fill out a form, whatever, or fill out a chat or whatever. They call for a direct mail piece, and now they've interacted with your company. From that point, and then think all the way down. You talk to them about their property, you get the information, build a rapport, you sign a contract with them at a price, right? And then, now they're in your world. They're officially your customer. Well, first off, how are they being treated, right? And what price did you sign that property? And now let's say, what we do is we're listing 99% of our properties. Now what happens next is critically important, and that will impact your overall business now and then future business. So I'll explain that here in a second. So the bottom line is that what is that journey that your customer's going through? And then at the end, they're going to go, oh my gosh, that was a great experience. And when they have that great experience, they're going to give you a great review. Now, think about that. Think about reviews impact future business. If you have great reviews, you're going to have future business because you can use those reviews to generate more business. How do people determine, whether they're going to go with you or whether they're going to go with us or whether they're going to go with somebody else? Well, it's the person they connect with, and it's their reviews. Because think about it. You go on Amazon, and you look at a product, it's similar, right? And, maybe it's a different brand, but you're looking at the reviews. If you have one that has a 1 or 2 star reviews, and you've got you that has 4 or 5 star reviews, well, guess what? You're going to get all the business because of the reviews. Now, how do you have a great customer experience all the way through? Well, first off, when a customer calls in, you got to be sticky sweet. You got to be able to work with them and stuff and build a great rapport. And then you've got to tell them exactly, be transparent, exactly what's going to happen. And here's the point. Here's the commonality between what's creating these bad reviews and this bad customer experience is the commonality is they're contracting for too high. They're appeasing the seller. So let me give an example. Seller wants $360,000, 360, and they say they want 360. Now, what happens is we're doing everything in our power to get 360, to get to that number 360. And now what happens is now we're going to look at the comparable numbers, and we're going to say, and here's the question you ask yourself, can I sell the property for 380, 390, 400? So you're trying to ask yourself, can I sell the property for that higher number? And you're looking for comps to answer that question, yes or no. And you're going to say, okay, well, it's going to be close, but let's just sign it because we need to get a contract. I got to get my KPIs. I got to get my leads per contract down. I've got to get a deal on the board. So, I'm going to sign it and get it done. So now you sign it for the higher price. It forces you to list the property for a higher price. Now the property's sitting there, right? You tell the seller, get the property, you list it for the higher price. A week passes, nothing happens. Your phone's not ringing, no activity. 2 weeks passes, nothing happens. You go, okay, well, Sean, on his videos, it says you got to lower the price. Well, you lower the price $1,000, still nothing happens. 3 weeks happens, nothing happens. The seller's getting antsy, right? You're getting antsy because there's no activity. You're like, what? Holy cow. And when you actually look at the comps, you realize you're going, wow, maybe I priced it on the upper echelon of the number. Now, we're already in an unaffordable housing, right? It's the worst in I think it's 22 years or even history. It's so bad because interest rates are high and prices of houses are out of control. So we're looking at this, and now we price the property high, and we're wholesalers. Now, our wholesalers is we got to price the property so it goes quickly, not where it goes in 90 to 120 days. We want the property to move and have activity so we get a good customer review. So it all starts with acquisitions. It all starts with the point where we're trying to appease the seller and get to their $360,000 number per se. We want to get there when we really should be telling them the truth. Meaning, if you want to do business with us, and I appreciate the fact you want that higher number, but the number doesn't work for us. We need to be here, right? So we, at this number, let's call it 330. Let's call it 320, right? We need to be here to make our numbers work. So now you're talking to them about, listen, and here's the thing. If you have great reviews, they're going to move because they're going to move toward your number of where you can perform. And you can perform at that number. You want to set your business, set yourself up for success. You don't want to go into a contract with a low probability of selling that property. You don't want to go into it and have a 3 or 4 probability of having a successful transaction and a great customer experience. You want to set yourself up where you have an 8, 9, 10 probability, and it all starts with acquisitions from the get-go. So instead of moving toward their number, right, have them move toward your number. It is a buyer's market. So a couple different things in the customer experience. Number one, we have to create that customer. We have to have great communication. We have to set the expectation of future pace of what is going to happen next. We are going to list the property. We are here to make a profit, right? We're going to take care of anything, any repairs or anything on the property. We're going to take care of that for you. We're going to handle all the problems. You have tenant problems, we're going to handle it. You have vagrant problems, we're going to handle it. You have properties vacant, you're out of state, and we're going to handle all that so you don't have to deal with anything, right? You're going to get X price for the property. And our goal is to make a profit. And if we can make anything over that, then great, after paying closing costs, commissions, repairs, and everything else we have to pay, right? The bottom line is that we're going to list the property. We're going to find a buyer. We're going to handle the whole process. Now, if that's good with you at this price, we can move forward. If not, that's fine. You can list the property yourself and you can fix it up and just put everything in storage and do it yourself. Now, if they see the value of working with you, great. They'll sign the contract and now they know what to expect going down line. Now, you communicate with them through the process. And here's the critically important question. Instead of asking, can I sell the property for that high if I get it at 360? Here's the question I want you to ask yourself. And I want you to look at the comps through this lens. What price do I have to sell that if I had to sell this property in 15 days or less? What price do I have to list the property for to get it sold, get offers on it, get a contract signed in 15 days or less? Now you're looking at the pending sales. You don't even care about the sold properties from the last 90 days. You're looking at the pending sales and you're looking at how fast those properties went pending. I just looked at a property for our sales guy and we had a pending property at 8 days, pending property at 14 days, pending property at 13 days, right? And guess what? We want to be priced under those pending properties, even if our property is a little bit bigger than theirs and has one more bed and bath, if we're priced under, what does that do to our probability? It increases our probability that we're going to be able to sell the property in 15 days or less. So I want you to look at every deal like that. What price do I have to list it for to get this sucker sold in 15 days or less? Now, let's look at the customer experience. Now you get it sold in 15 days or less. There's activity. You got people going through the house. You got a contract on the house. We got a closing date that's set. You have activity that's going and everything's moving forward. You have a closing date. Now everybody's moving toward that closing date. Now the property closes. They didn't have to deal with a thing. They didn't have to deal with the tenants. They didn't have to deal with the vagrants. They didn't have to deal with lockboxes. They didn't have to deal with fixing the property. And all they had to do was sign a contract with you. And then if they live in the property, arrange a couple showings or a couple of walkthroughs on the property, and you handled everything else. They got their price. They're happy. You didn't have to renegotiate it. What type of review are they going to leave you? That review essentially will help you secure future business. That review will help you get future business. So the more reviews you can get that are positive is going to help you acquisition down the line and literally eliminate competition. Because what you're going to do is your acquisition team is going to lead in with, well, guess what? I know there's other people you might be talking to, but we have a ton of reviews. You probably want to go with someone who have a lot of reviews, don't you? If you went on Amazon, you were looking at a couple different products, you'd want to go with one that maybe was the, not the lowest price. And what if you had the lowest price, but no reviews, or lowest price, one review? There's risk there, right? So you might have someone to give you a higher price, but they have terrible reviews. That's not a good thing, is it, Mr. Seller? Why won't you go with this price and have confidence that you can get the deal done? You have that type of conversation, guess what? You're not going to have to renegotiate deals. You're not going to have to create that bad will. You're not going to have a bad customer experience. You're not going to have a property listed on the market for 2 months and you had to lower it and lower it and lower it, and thing just gets stale and you just want it off your books. That's not what we want to do. We want to set ourselves and the seller up for success and be able to add value to the situation, get the property closed ASAP. And if you focus on customer experience, you focus on asking yourself the question, what price do I have to list this for that's going to sell in 15 days or less? And you have the seller move to a number that makes sense for you so you don't have to renegotiate 2 or 3 or 4 times to get this property sold. It will be less stress for your team. It's going to be an overall better customer experience. You might sign potentially less contracts, but you won't. Especially if you have an acquisition team, they will move toward the path of least resistance to get the contract done, and they will move their mindset where they have to be in a certain box. Whatever parameters in the box you give your acquisition team, they will move. If you move the box this way, they're going to play within that box to get contracts signed. And they'll still get their contracts signed, and they'll still get deals. They'll be a little murky at first, but guess what? Eventually, they're going to get those contracts signed and get deals done. So hope this helps. Customer experience. Ask yourself that question and watch what happens to the whole flow of your business in the future. So hope this helps. Have a great day. Take care and God bless.
I can't take no loss. Yeah. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my